Welcome everybody to another episode of the Pierce Brothers. Today we're doing another campfire discussion on our last rifles we'd sell. We did one on our handguns, last handguns we'd sell or lose, whatever. This is not like an end of the world thing, it's just favorite rifles basically, 2 each. And yeah, before we get rolling, make sure and check out our Patreon and our channel memberships. We do a monthly live video, and then we have early access to our other videos as well as exclusive content for members only. So check those out, and we'll start with Jake and work our way to Porter on the end.
Okay, well, my first one would be my Winchester 1873 saddle ring carbine. The Winchester 73 to me is the best lever action ever made. Well, I know it's really not, but it's one of my favorites.
Oh, they're a very good rifle. I might inject Buffalo Bill. He had access to 92s and Marlins and everything else, and that's remained his favorite. And off of tradition, we loved how that carrier centers that cartridge to the chamber and slams it home.
Well, and if you made a list of most reliable firearms on the planet, I think you can make a case for the 73 Winchester.
Very good rifle.
They're just, I mean, there's virtually no way for it to have a failure to feed or a failure to eject, unless you got some type of broken part. It's just...
And if you put it in the wrong cartridge, I'm joking about that because this actually happened in a gunfight with a Texas Ranger. He put a 45 Colt in his 4440 Winchester in the middle of the gunfight, and he kept his head down, took his pocket knife out, removed the side plate, cleared the jam, put it back together, and joined the gunfight.
Yeah, just a really nice rifle. I just love how smooth they are. This one doesn't even have an action job, but it's just... And when you're chambering a cartridge, you don't even feel the cartridge
catch up.
Yeah, I mean, it's just such a smooth rifle. And again, this can go for, you know, the Henry rifles, the Yellow Boys, of course the 73s. I just like the 73 a little better. I like the steel receiver and stuff. This one being made in Japan, it was a Moroku. It is a Winchester brand because they make the guns for Winchester nowadays. It's a nice rifle. It shoots well. I like the walnut wood. It's well polished, well built parts, and yeah, so that'd probably be my first gun I would keep.
You know, and I'll comment too, Jake. The Ubertis are they've been building those since the early '70s, and they've got it down. I mean, those are very good rifles.
Yeah, they are. They are. Yeah. So that'd be my first one I would pick, and my second would be, of course, I had to pick a muzzleloader.
He's having an excuse to cast his own bullets and make his own black powder.
We said this in our last live chat, but Jake's on a black powder kick, and nothing's going to change his mind right now.
I was sitting there thinking about it, and like, so we can only pick 2 guns, and I was sitting there thinking which muzzleloader I'd pick, and it was down to this one or my Pedersoli 1841 Mississippi rifle, both 58 caliber. I really like the Pedersoli, and it was probably the better pick just because it shoots so well and shoots right to the sights and everything. But I finally got this one sighted in. Did a little more. I filed quite a bit off the bottom of the sight here to get it lower, so it actually hits the point of aim instead of shooting 3 feet or 4 feet high now. So yeah, I would probably pick this one. This one's a Parker Hale, so they made reproductions of Enfield muskets and carbines and the short rifles and all that stuff in the 80s era, I believe, is when they were making those. They also made Whitworth rifles. One of these days I'll pick up a Whitworth and do some 1,000 and 1,200 yard shooting. That'd be fun. But so yeah, these were really well built guns. Good locks. They used, of course, being made in England, they had real English walnut stocks. This one is special because it was gone over and customized by David Stavlo from Lodgewood Manufacturing, and he basically duplicated, reworked the stock to duplicate a Civil War era Confederate cavalry carbine. Of course, we replaced the lock plate with one that was marked correctly. Replaced the hammer, sights. Of course, we reblued it. Color case hardened the hammer and lock plate. Yeah, and just kind of all the little details, like it has the Confederate anchor mark here on the stock. Just all the little details to make it virtually an identical replica of a Confederate cavalry carbine from the Civil War, and it's a really, really handsome little rifle. And
thing comes to your shoulder like a shotgun.
Yeah, it does. So, yeah, so that'd probably be my second one. I like this one just a little better than the Pedersoli Mississippi rifle. This one's the carbine. The Mississippi rifle's more of a rifle size, 33-inch barrel. This one just a little handier, and I just like the real case hardened lock, and I really like that English walnut stock. It just looks really, really sharp. So that's why I picked this one, mostly for the aesthetic purposes. So yeah, so that would be my two picks, and I guess the 73 Winchester, I can hunt with it, self-defense, all that type of stuff. And my 58 caliber here, I can put in a mini bullet and push it with 70 grains of black powder and 500 grain bullet and kill pretty much anything I need to in North America.
Yeah.
So
those mini bullets hit pretty hard.
Yeah.
A big caliber.
Yeah.
58 caliber.
Yeah.
Yep. Guess it's my turn. So, choice was fairly easy for me. The hardest part was picking which AR to pick. But first choice is my Model 1895 SBL. This is a Ruger-made version. And back in 2014, I think, is when Jurassic World came out, the newest. Yeah. And say what you will about those movies, that first one was actually pretty good, with Chris Pratt toting around a 1895 shooting T-Rexes. Even though he didn't kill it, it would have in real life, in my opinion. But
well, and then in the latest movie, they have the main lady
Scarlett
character,
Johansson,
kills a dinosaur with a 9mm claw. And yet Chris Pratt with a 45-70 couldn't kill
8 rounds of 45-70 into the side of a... Yeah, I mean, it's like... Anyways, the realisticness was not so much there.
Yes.
On that note, dinosaur movies, there's a new one called Primitive War. It's an Australian-made movie based on a book, though. Low-budget film, but it's actually pretty good if you get the chance to watch it. It's based in Vietnam, and there's some commandos in the jungle, and long story short, there's dinosaurs, and they got to fight their way through and all that, and they actually kill a lot of dinosaurs, and it's kind of cool. So, anyways, second choice is I picked my BCM. It was either this or my Geisley. They're both basically the same rifle, 14.5-inch M4 clones. And in reality, I'd be fine with either one, but I'd want the one with the Trijicon Credo, because that's a little more versatile than just a red dot. And Trijicon, in my opinion, makes the best optics on the market, so that is my choice. Either BCM or Geisley with a Trijicon Credo. BCM, this is my second one I've owned. My first one, I had over 5,000 rounds through it. Only cleaned it twice during that time. Lubed it very minimally. Never had an issue with it at all. Functionality is great and off the charts. Yeah, BCM's a great option if you're wanting in my opinion, the lowest tier AR that you should get as a personal defense weapon. It would be BCM. That'd be the minimum I'd recommend. You get good quality control and tighter tolerances, which leads to better reliability and longevity. So some of the budget guns out there just won't perform and last like BCM or higher end guns will. So that's my choice.
Awful choice.
Awful choice.
You don't need an AR-15.
They're so fun, though. I love my ARs. Yeah. All right, Dad.
Well, so I was giving Joe a hard time earlier, because I'm like, I hate it when you have to narrow it down to one or two guns. What would be the last rifle or last two rifles, whatever? And then all of a sudden you're back to saying, okay, what what tool would fit most needs that I would have in the real world. And we all love 22s and various small bores, for pests and small game and whatever. And I thought, the 357 in a lever gun like this model 1894 is a really good choice. It's I've talked about these quite a bit in the past. Very low recoil, even with full power loads. You can kill deer with them all day long, within respected limits. Being a creative hand loader, I can bring this gun's velocity way down to 700 or 800 feet per second or 1,000 feet a second and shoot small game, minimal meat damage. It's a pretty practical all-purpose gun. It's great for home or property protection. Great little saddle gun as well. So there's a lot of virtues choosing this. Now, if I were to choose a different one, I'd probably go to a 44 Magnum or maybe a 45 Colt, but the same concept, just a lot of versatility there in a compact little lever gun. We were actually out shooting today, lever guns at 495 yards, and they had to be pistol length cartridges, and the wind was fighting us, so our windage was with what we were fighting the most. It wasn't so much the drop as it was the windage.
Except for Joe and I, we were shooting shitty bullets.
All over the place.
Find out after the fact.
I took each of their guns after the video was done and hit the target a couple of times.
With his ammo. He didn't use our ammo that he gave us.
Dad pawned off his
all his crappy ammo.
Okay, so
No, this is not a true story.
Dad pawned off 2,000 bullets to me. They're a gas check, 160 grain. Anyways, so I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay. And he's like, well, test them first. And I shot him at like 150 to 200 yards. And I thought, and they were decent enough on accuracy. I said, okay, that would work. So I've been shooting them. And I've always noticed once you get past like that 200, 250 yard mark, they started kind of just not being very consistent. I was like, lever gun, usually 200 yards or closer is where you're at. And my handgun, great, out to 150 yards, no problems. Today we go out to 495 yards. Now you're shooting, and those bullets
are but where you're aiming.
Those bullets were destabilizing and just going. And Joe's was the worst about it. It
Like
would go
60
literally
feet.
60 feet off.
And I'd hold the exact same hold, and it would be. And it
so
would
he even takes off his red
20
dot.
feet low. I think, okay, maybe my red dot's got a parallax, and I take that off, and same thing. I'm holding with my irons, and I'm
worse.
like, I have the exact same sight picture.
Checking size
Yeah,
to make
and I'm
sure
like,
they
man,
don't come loose.
Yeah.
Like, how is it shifting 40 feet different hits?
I was so
And I'm like,
pissed off because there's times that Jake couldn't even see. Like he's looking in the spotting scope, and he's like, I don't even know where you hit. I'm like,
well, it hit about 20 feet low, so I was like, well, I'll go up a little bit, and I'd
it's like
shift,
30 feet
and
high.
then it hits 30 feet high. And I was like,
so yeah, we have to give Dad crap
so
about
bottom
that.
line is, Dad pawns his crappy reloads off on us.
No, yours was reloaded.
So-
I did my
Yeah.
own reloading, but they were the bullets.
So the moral of the story is trust factory ammo over Brian Pierce's loads.
No. Because I took each of their guns with my loads.
With his
and hit 'em
loads.
and hit the targets. And they're like, wait a minute, how'd you do that? But here's the story. Here's the story. My turn. So I told
you pawned the bullets off on me.
I told you guys. I
He
said,
never told me this, so I had no idea about this until we're eating dinner here, and I was like, no wonder I was hitting all over the place.
they were shooting them in model 28, and they were shooting fine.
Yeah,
But-
20
but I
yards.
I told Porter years ago when he bought those, I said, Porter, those are not shooting great in some guns, especially at long range. Take some. I gave him some. I said, go load them, go shoot them, test them before you buy any, because what the deal is, it's a mold that's a very good mold, but RCBS changed the design a little bit. And I literally took the old design, put them in those same two guns, start hitting the targets, and they're like, wait a minute.
But
Here's the thing. Dad didn't tell me about that, and I got
when I was
400
testing it-
rounds of 357 loaded with those old castaway bullets.
Well, the problem is I did test it, like Dad told me to, at 200 yards. And I was hitting decent. I was like, okay, they'll work for what I want to use it.
But then at
lever gun.
495, you notice the difference.
You started shooting at, like, you were shooting groups of, like, 30 feet in pattern wide.
So I have talked about this some, and I've had a lot of people think I'm nuts because I've tested on a lot of different guns. But when you get that flat too large in relation to the caliber,
it's like shooting a wad
the
cutter.
accuracy just goes to pot at longer ranges or lower velocities. There's such poor stabilization issues. Anyway, we're off
Anyways,
subject.
back to Dad's choices
Yeah,
here.
yeah. The 357, very versatile little lever gun. We a while back did it for we only have about two handguns. It's our last handguns. I chose a 44 special and a 44 mag. If that scenario was part of this would probably get changed to a 44 mag, just so you know. Or if I decide to change that to a 45 Colt, then I'd get a Marlin 45 Colt. So anyway, now that these boys got done roasting me here. So
Dad is pawning off stuff he doesn't like.
I warned you.
You didn't warn me though, so I didn't even know
Well, you
about it
didn't-
until we're eating dinner
you didn't-
tonight, and I was
you-
like,
I was wondering.
You didn't even have a rifle in that caliber in those days.
I was watching the Joe shoot, and I was like, I know Joe's a bad shot, but he's not this bad of a shot.
I am the leader, excuse me, in all of our
Excuse
competitions
me?
still by like 5 wins.
That's because you sit there and use all the latest, greatest, fancy.
Yeah, because all of my guns, and I was going to say this, my guns are all purpose built. I don't have fancy collector toys.
I don't have fancy collector.
I don't know,
toys.
Joe. You've never won a lever gun competition.
Yeah, I have.
When?
The 200-yard lever gun. I won it.
Oh.
No, Dan
Yeah.
won that.
Yeah, but I was using those crappy bullets
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
So it doesn't
that,
count.
Joe.
No, I won a lever gun one,
No,
though.
you didn't.
You won the zombie shoot one, didn't
Yeah.
you? Yeah,
By a
anyways.
lot.
You've never won a lever gun
Yeah,
competition.
I haven't. I came close, though, last week.
I'm getting tired of winning them all.
Yeah. You've only won 2. Jake's won just as many.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay.
I won one last week.
Second choice here.
Yep. But Jake's
won today.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. We better quit this wrapped up. So, I'm very, very fond of hunting big game, especially in Alaska. I love hunting the Alaskan brown bears and so forth. And in the past, I would have chosen probably a 338 as my all-round. I still wrestled with that coming here tonight. But there's the other side where I like to shoot coyotes, long ranges, deer, elk, whatever. And the 30 caliber magnums have a very huge option of bullets. They perform very well at long distances. It's a classic caliber, and I speak of 300 magnums kind of as a general term. I know I'm very familiar with all the technical changes with some of the new ones. The 30 Nosler, not new, but newer. 300 Remington Ultramag, 30 Nosler, of course the 300 PRC, and there's a whole list of 30 caliber magnums out there. But the 300 Win Mag still just keeps plugging away out there. It's still very, very popular. So for today's purposes, I could not choose anything with plastic or synthetic or paint, and I elected to choose a Kimber BGR 89. Big Game Rifle 89 is what they're known as. They are basically a Winchester Pre-64 Model 70 action. Very proven action, claw extractor, control round feed. This one has a quarter rib. Of course, I've got detachable mounts on it with loophole scope. It's got express sights as well. That's just driving me crazy. And this is my granddaughter's puppy. He hasn't seen me in a long time.
Well, he's not really a puppy anymore. He's like 5 or 6 now.
I know, I'm
No, I
aware.
think he's
I'm
like-
aware. He missed me. He used to
like
live
6
at my
or
house, and he misses me.
Dad.
So this has a classic stock, walnut stock, of course, high upgraded stock. Got a small chick piece, very comfortable to shoot. 3-position wing safety. But again, the 300 mag is a very versatile cartridge. You can pretty much do everything you need. The hunter in me says I'd use the right bullets. I'd go kill brown bears with this all day long. I wouldn't want it as a stopping cartridge because it's definitely not that. But but it's a very versatile cartridge. If I went to Africa, of course, I'd have to borrow a big bore rifle to do that. But neither does a big bore cartridge work great on coyotes at 500 or 600 or 700 yards. So anyway, those two rifles would cover a lot of bases. Basically, the 357 would act as a 22 with the right loads. The 300 Win Mag kind of does, but it would also act as that intermediate, comfortable, inexpensive to shoot, kind of 30-30 class in many ways. But then, of course, the 300 Win Mag is has all the versatility and long-range prowess and power, great for elk and so forth. Especially, again, I emphasize this, especially with so many of our modern high-performance bullets. So there's my choices, and I can even. And this is not an eyesore. It doesn't have paint and camouflage. And
neither is this. This is a very using.
It is
probably one of the most versatile guns in North America, right here.
It is. Your Lot 6 is never a mistake.
Yep. Okay, so I guess I'll roll right into mine now. So, my number one pick, it is my Ruger 77 30-06.
Hawkeye.
Oh, yeah, Hawkeye.
Left hand.
Yeah, left hand. It has to be
Before
left
it's a
hand.
lefty.
Yeah. Anyways, this
he'll
thing.
hand me one of these guns and say, here, look at this scope, or look at this, that. He always has this, some kind of a cartridge thing on this side, and the right hand throws it up. You can't get down on that stock for anything.
Well, anyways.
All the
but,
Porter's guns are backwards, just like him.
Very lightweight. This gun shoots really well. I did a custom trigger job on it. I think it breaks at 1.5 pounds. Full length bedded the stock. Put on a different butt plate here.
A Packmar accelerator.
Yeah, I think it's a Packmar, I think. Anyways.
It is.
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, those are the only 3 customizations I did to the rifle. Other than that, it's stock. Shot a lot of deer with it. An elk or two or 3 elk with it. I don't carry it very often anymore, just because I like my 25-06 probably a little bit better because it's a little flatter on the trajectories. But you know, this gun I've shot a lot of game with it over the years. I think I got it when I was like 14, I think I was, and I used this gun right up until even right after, you know, I turned 21, 22, and then I got other guns and stuff, and so it's pretty much sat in the safe for the last, you know, 8 or 9 years.
He was shooting it today, and it reminded him how much he likes it.
Yeah, shooting it today, just doing a little testing and stuff on a video. Anyways, but yeah, it's kind of one of those sentimental guns. Even if I don't use it for another 50 years, I will. I'll still keep it.
50 years, Port.
The way I drink. Anyways, but yeah, no, that's one of them that won't ever go away. And then another one, it'll go away at some point when I burn the barrel out. But is my 243 Savage. This gun killed a lot of coyotes now. I don't think I've ever shot a deer with it yet. Not that I've tried to. It's always just my coyote gun, varmint gun. But you know, the 243, that's another. That's probably, I've shot lots of coyotes with 223, 22 250, 30-06, 25-06. And when I got this 243, it became hands down my favorite varminting cartridge, just because I shoot a lot of coyotes at like longer range. And when I say longer range, like that 600 to 1,000 yards. And like a 22 250, I mean, the longest kill shot I had with one of those was 839 yards with a 22 250. And that was really stretching that 22 250. I mean, windage, you know, you have to have it completely dead calm and everything. So when I got the 243, then making hits at 800, 900 yards is like super easy comparatively. And it's like, you know, you can use good, you know, varminting not cartridges, varminting bullets and stuff, good BCs on them, light recoil. I need to get it threaded so I can put on my suppressor and stuff, but you know, I don't know, it's just kind of one of those guns that I'll keep it until the day it quits shooting, just because it shoots so well. I've gotten 1/4-inch groups out of it before when I'm really practiced up and kind of in the zone, so to speak. But you know, I mean, for a cheap Savage, I think it's the model 111, or I think is what this one is, or model 11. I paid like $300 for it,
Detachable magazine.
Yep, detachable magazine. I paid $300 for it, and you know, it's probably the most accurate $300 rifle you could possibly buy. You know, the previous guy I bought it used, and I think brand new. They at the time they were like $420 or whatever. Now they're obviously quite a bit more than that, but the guy that had bought it, he'd bought it for his daughter, and it was too much recoil for her. And all he had ever done was shot 20 rounds through it, and in between every round, he pulled a bore snake through it. And that's all he did. And then I took it and shot it, and it was like 4-inch groups. I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna mess with it. So, anyways, but yeah, this will be a gun that I'll keep around until the barrel quits on me, and then I'll probably switch the barrel. So, anyways, I did a custom paint job on it just because it was just plain black, and I did not like plain black.
Custom meaning spray paint and
yeah, not custom.
And weeds.
I just took and just spray painted it. And,
there's nothing like a good rattle can job on a black gun.
well, it looks better than black.
We should spray paint Dad's gun. It stands out too much.
Yeah, I think
Let's
Dad's
see
gun
that
is looking
fancy
a little,
walnut down. Yeah.
Or better yet, spray paint his lever gun.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
This is a custom leather gun,
Paint-
one of a
way to
kind.
paint your Winchester, Jake.
No.
Those are called like Marlin Dark series and things, you know.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that's my 2 picks of guns that are probably never going to go anywhere until I die, probably. So,
Yep. Well, let us know in the comments what your picks are. There's a lot of good guns out there. So, any other comments?
my guns have probably combined have probably killed more than all your guys' guns combined.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Port went through a phase of coyote hunting where it was like all day, every day. That's all he thought about.
Well, I got 2 different times I got triples. You know, I coyote hunted really hard, and to get a triple, you know, most coyote hunters never get a triple, but I got a triple 2 different times, so I'm pretty proud of that.
So now if I say, hey, Port, I'm going coyote hunting, he's like, no, it's too cold.
Yeah, it's like -5. I'm like,
We ought to enter into that coyote competition they do every year.
Yeah, end of January. I think,
Yeah, we ought to do that.
I think I need to do that this year.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, guys, and let us know in the comments as well any other campfire topics you'd like us to discuss. We're always looking for more ideas, and we'll see you next time on the Pierce Brothers.